Have you ever had to throw away a sublimation printer because you forgot to print for a while and the print heads dried out? I have 3 times. I got so sick of throwing money in the trash just because I didn't print for a few weeks. Today, I'm showing you why I finally switched to a real dedicated sublimation printer, the Epson SureColor F170, and I'm sharing 5 high-profit projects that are perfect for Mother's Day, weddings, sports fans, and beyond. You're going to find out why a printer that's actually made for this is worth the extra cost, how to use templates to perfectly plan your designs, and how to print to scale in Canva. Plus, I'll show you how to find the right temperature and time settings for every single blank you buy so you don't waste your money. Stick around till the end because I'm breaking down the exact cost versus the potential profit for all 5 projects I'm showing today. If you're new here, I'm Carrie and I'm the author of Cricut for Dummies. I love finding ways to make money from home, and for me, the secret sauce is selling locally. There's no shipping, no huge competition, and real relationships. I'm so excited to be partnering with Johnson Plastics Plus for this video. I recently discovered their website and I'm like, where have you been my whole life? They carry thousands of blanks at amazing prices for everything that I love. Sublimation, laser engraving, Cricut crafts. They have incredible customer service and they actually offer free remote installation for this printer, which is a total game changer if you're nervous about setting it up. But honestly, setup was so quick and easy. You basically just take it out of the box, remove the tape, and put in the ink. The instructions are really clear and walk you through everything. But if you want a full unboxing video, I can definitely make one for you. Let's dive into our first project, mugs. Who doesn't love a good mug? They're easy to make, perfect for any occasion, and have great profit margins. I picked up a case of these 15-ounce pink intercolor mugs for Mother's Day. In a case of 12, they're under $4 a piece. Custom mugs usually sell between $15 and $20 to even $25, so there's a really great opportunity for profit here. On one side of this mug, it says First Mom with her kids' names, and on the other, it says Now Grandma with her grandkids' names. For the design, I used a wildflower bundle from Creative Fabrica and a font called Moontime on Canva. I rotated and resized the font to fit like a stem, and then I cropped the bottom of a flower to place below the name like the bottom of the stem. These are those custom personal designs that make you stop and think, wow, that's so beautiful. But the biggest question I get is, how do you actually figure out how big to make your designs so they fit on the mug perfectly every single time? I've always used Canva to edit my designs and print them to scale. However, I keep hearing how great Affinity is, so I'm planning to try them soon. I'd love to know, what software do you guys use? For now, Canva it is. I start by opening up a custom 8.5 by 11 inch canvas to match my paper size. But to make sure my placement is exact, I always use the templates directly from the Johnson Plastics Plus website. If you go back to the product page where you ordered your blanks, you'll see a tab called Tech, Docs, and Downloads. These are a total lifesaver because they give you the exact recommended equipment and the specific time and temperature settings for your heat press. I actually didn't realize until I already had my blanks that things like glass or photo slate need a special green sponge heat pad. I really wish that I noticed those tech tips before I ordered, so definitely check those out to make sure you have everything you need for your project. What worked best for me was opening up the template, saving it to my computer, and then uploading it into Canva. If you look at the bottom left corner of the template, you'll see the suggested dimensions. You may have to zoom in because they're pretty small. For these 15-ounce mugs, it says your template should be 9.125 by 3.95 inches. First, I use Canva's background remover tool to make sure that the template is see-through. Next, you'll need to drag your photo behind the template. To adjust the layers, click on Position, Layers, and then you can drag and drop your design to a lower level. Now you can shrink and adjust your picture until it looks good in the template. Make sure your design doesn't go past the outer margins because that's where your mug handle is and it might not get enough heat, causing ghosting. Now I like to crop out everything except for the template. Click on the little line in the center of your image and drag it down until it touches the sides of your template. Before cropping out the bottom, take note of those dimensions. Highlight your crop design and resize it until it matches those dimensions, 9.125 by 3.95 inches. Then you'll have to rotate your whole design 90 degrees so that it fits on the paper. I like to place it right in the center so that nothing gets cut off from the margins. Get rid of the orange guidelines by either using the magic eraser tool, covering them with a white square shape, or by bringing your picture back up to the top layer and making sure it covers them. When you're all ready to print, click on Share, Download, change the file type to PDF print, best for printing. I always check off the flattened PDF, but I don't know if you really need to do that or not. And then I change the color profile to CMYK, best for printing. Then click Download. Open up the file, right-click, and click Print. Select your Sublimation printer from the drop-down menu. Mine is labeled SC-F100. The paper size should be set to letter 8.5 by 11 and set the scale to custom 100. That's very important. That's how you make sure it prints to scale. Click Print using System dialog next. Double check that your Sublimation printer is still selected on the screen. Click on More Settings and make sure that the quality is set to high. It should automatically be set to mirror your image. Once you set those settings once, you shouldn't have to do it again. Click OK and print. While your design prints, turn on your heat press and preheat it to about 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 170 seconds with medium to heavy pressure. After your design prints, cut it out, making sure not to leave any of those blue template lines. Then wrap it around your mug and tape it down with heat-resistant tape. Then carefully slide it into your heat press. Usually I would recommend covering your mug with a piece of uncoated butcher paper to protect your heat press from any kind of ink blowouts. But with these 15-ounce mugs, it was a really tight fit and I couldn't get it in with the paper on, so I took it off. After 170 seconds, carefully remove your mug. Be very careful as your mug is burning hot. And remove the transfer paper. You can't make a Mother's Day mug without also thinking about Father's Day. I found this Best Dad Ever design that was a perfect match to my Best Mom Ever design. I wish that I bought a case of those intercolor mugs in blue because this design would have looked amazing on those mugs. I went with their 15-ounce solid white Rhino Coat mugs for the rest of my designs, which are only $2.74 in a case. We have a retirement party to go to this week. Our friend Scott is retiring after nearly 5 decades of hard work. So naturally, I had to make him a mug with his face on it for his party. How's that for a custom retirement gift? For the photo collage mug, I actually went with a slightly smaller 11-ounce mug. I downloaded a template from Creative Fabrica and then used Canva square photo frames to just drag and drop my photos into place. If you've watched my channel, you know that I use Creative Fabrica and Canva for just about everything. Creative Fabrica is only $3.99 a month for unlimited downloads, billed once a year for $47, and that includes a commercial license for millions of fonts and graphics, which is a huge win if you want to sell projects legally. Now, while I was making these specific collage mugs, I actually ran into what I thought was a color issue on my new printer. I decided to print the same design out on my old converted Epson Sublimation printer and then on my new F170 so that I could compare them. And then I started to panic because the new prints looked so much lighter. But here's a tip if you're new. The magic doesn't happen until after the heat hits the paper. It's supposed to look a little dull until it's pressed. And I knew that, but my new prints looked so much lighter that I thought for sure I had a setting wrong. So I decided to put their customer service to the test, and I got connected to Brian, who was amazing. One of the best things about ordering from Johnson's is the extra support. It's not like Amazon where you're on your own. You actually get help from a US-based team who can speak English that you can understand. And here's the best part. Unlike those converted printers where the second you put sublimation ink, you voided your warranty, The F170 is actually designed for this, and it comes with a full 1-year warranty through Epson, so you aren't just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. Brian helped me realize that the F170 is actually printing true to color, and my old printer was just oversaturating everything and making it too dark. But I have a really important tip. Make sure that the mugs you buy are the right size for your specific mug press. I absolutely love these 15-ounce mugs, but they were a really tight fit in my heat press. I actually ended up with a little bit of ghosting near the handle because of it. It's no fault of these mugs, they're beautiful. I just realized that I probably needed a slightly bigger mug press to handle these 15-ounce sizes perfectly. If you have a mug press that you love for 15-ounce mugs, let me know in the comments. For my second project, I wanted to try something really unique, custom basketball hoops. You guys know I love making sports-themed items. I have another video showing how to make money selling sports gear with DTF printing. But you can recreate those same ideas with sublimation as long as you have the right blanks that are light-colored in polyester. This hoop is a perfect example. You can take a player's name, number, and photo and turn it into something really special. My 9-year-old son Barrett plays basketball and just had professional pictures taken. So I turned those photos into an amazing keepsake. I made this design in Canva by layering his pictures over a flaming basketball. I'm honestly so proud of how this design came out. The F170 is made specifically for sublimation ink, so it handles this thicker formula perfectly. One of the biggest advantages is that it automatically runs maintenance cleanings on its own. It handles the babysitting for me, so I don't have to stress about the ink drying up if I take a break from crafting and forget to print. These basketball hoops from Johnson's Plastics Plus are $8.25 each, and I feel like you could easily sell these for $30. But just a heads up, the hoop is held on with Velcro, so it's definitely decorative. Tell the kids not to go dunking on it. It's really more of a decorative picture for the wall and not a toy. For my third project, I took a design similar to the one that I used on the mugs, and I heat pressed it onto these 16 by 16 inch linen pillowcases from Johnson's Plastics. Now, I know that pillows like these are great sellers because I've sold a ton of them. I actually have an old video showing how I designed these name and heart pillows, which are great for holidays like Mother's Day or Christmas. Back then, I made them with heat transfer vinyl, and weeding all of those tiny names was a total nightmare. It took me forever. When I saw this deal from Johnson's Plastics Plus, 5 pillowcases for only $20.79, I knew that I had to have them. I really wish that I had a sublimation printer back then because this process is so much faster and easier. No more weeding vinyl. Just print and press. From a business side, you have 2 ways to sell these. You can sell just the personalized cover for about $20 to $25, or you can sell the full pillow with the insert for $35 to $40. If you're selling locally, the full pillow is a great high-end gift. But if you're shipping, I highly recommend selling just the pillowcase. Shipping actual pillows is expensive because they're so bulky, so selling just the cover saves you a fortune and makes your life easier. You just have to make sure that your listing or your customer knows that they're only buying the cover. If you do want to provide the full set, you can actually grab the matching throw pillow inserts for $6.04, so your profit stays pretty high either way. While you're shopping for these blanks, make sure you sign up for their rewards program called JPP Bucks. Basically, for every dollar you spend, you earn 1 point. And once you hit 500 points, you get $5 off your next order. You literally earn money back just for buying the things that you were going to buy anyways. Plus, you get 100 points just for signing up to be a rewards member. Project number 4 is a nice evergreen project because everyone loves their pets. Plus, everyone needs coasters so they don't ruin their tables. I used some 4x4 inch square fabric coasters that came in my Sublimation starter kit. These are only $6.87 for a 10-pack, so less than 70 cents each. Since I'm a proud dog and cat mom, I couldn't resist printing photos of all my pets on these. What I love from a business perspective is that people usually buy a set of 4. So for less than $3 in materials, you can sell a $20 gift set. Coasters are the perfect add-on item for your business. I also picked up some of Johnson Plastics Plus slate photo coasters because I'm dying to see how those look. Unfortunately, I didn't realize until after they arrived that I needed that special green foam pad to press them the right way. As soon as that pad arrives, I'm going to do a dedicated video on those. But just a quick tip for you, for these fabric ones, I think they're probably better suited for things like company logos or fun sayings. Because the fabric is porous, it really drinks up that ink, which can make a detailed photo look a little bit moodier than it does on your screen. If you want that really high definition glossy look for your photos, you're better off printing on a hard surface like those slate coasters or MDF coasters or ceramic coasters. But for a quick high margin project that you can do right now, these fabric ones are great, especially for logos. Now, I saved my absolute favorite project for the very last, and this is it. These Sublimation wood heart blocks. These are only $5.59 from Johnson's, and I've seen similar ones sell on Etsy for about $25. And there's hardly any listed, which tells me there's not much competition. So that's a $19.41 profit per block. What makes these my favorite is that they're the ultimate evergreen gift. Because they're based on photos, people buy them all year long for weddings, memorials, new babies, pets. You can put anything on these. My niece recently got married and had a baby, so I used these heart blocks to capture those special memories for her. The detail on these is just incredible. Because these have that smooth, hard surface we talked about, the ink stays right on top of the coating. That's why the colors are so vibrant and the lines are so sharp. I'm honestly just obsessed with how these came out. They look like something you'd find in a high-end boutique, and they are just so special to receive as a gift. I haven't officially put these heart blocks up for sale yet, but I have a feeling they're going to be a massive hit once I get them up. And of course I had to make one for my kitten Goose, sitting in the lavender. The picture came out so clear. You can see every single whisker and even the tiny speckles in his blue eyes. If seeing these projects has you excited to start your own, you definitely need to watch my top 15 sublimation tips video next. It's basically all the things I wish someone had told me when I first started out, so I didn't waste so many blanks. I still have a ton of other blanks to try, like wind spinners, garden flags, glass photo blocks, and those photo slates I mentioned, and even flip-flops. I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment and let me know what you want to see me make next. I've linked the Epson F170 and all of my favorite blanks in the description. If you're new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell. I'm Carrie, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.